Welcome back to CST Daily. Luke and Ellis with you. Ben Johnson had few answers for yesterday's ugly loss in Detroit. I want to bring in someone who I know has all the answers. Guy's a friend, one of our very own, formerly of The Score, who's now hit the big time with Fox Sports 1 on First Things First every day. Danny Parkins joins us. What's going on, Danny?
Lou, I don't know if I have all the answers, but I certainly will pretend to, sir. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm great, thank you. How's the family? Enjoying New York?
Yeah. You know, Chicago is home, but we're making a new life out here and enjoying the adventure for sure.
You deserve it. All right, I want to get into it right away because, as I said, I know you've got the answers. What the heck happened to the Bears yesterday in Detroit?
I feel like everything went wrong. Like, what do you hang your hat on if you're a Bears fan? Like, Rome Odunze looked good. Okay, they got blown out. You know, so I know the conversation is Caleb, but what's Ben Johnson doing? What's their defensive line doing? What's their secondary doing? What's their running game doing? What's with all of the penalties? Like, it's very, very familiar is I think how a lot of Bears fans would be feeling today. And so while Caleb is frustrating because of all of the talent, and I'm sure we'll get more into it, he's not the only problem here. And so it's like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day almost. It's just like, are we really going through another season like this again? Is it really that bad already? So it's very demoralizing right now.
I'm with you. I felt your pain watching the game. I guess the demise of the Lions without Ben Johnson, that was a little premature, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, and I always thought that Ben Johnson was a bigger add for the Bears than he was lost for the Lions, because it's just like you've got a very talented, experienced quarterback in Jared Goff in his prime. You've got two of the best tackles in the NFL. You've got the best running back duo in the NFL. You've got a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. You've got speed. You've got a top 5 tight end in the NFL. I think Ben Johnson said it at one point. He was like, yeah, the offense for Detroit had gotten to a point where anybody could call plays for them. So, you know, he was being a little humble when he said that. But I definitely, after that week 1 game against Green Bay, was not ready to write off the Lions just because of one bad outing.
You know, I want to bring up something that you mentioned up top, and Ryan Poles invested a ton of money into the defensive and offensive lines during the offseason, and through 2 games, man, I'll tell you what, the return on investment has been non-existent. I would be firing my financial planner with this type of ROI. Which unit are you more disappointed in?
I think the offensive line, because I don't understand yet. I thought that Ben Johnson was going to unlock something in the Bears running game. And when you upgrade at center guard, you feel like, okay, you've got this coach who understands the running game. You've got a running back in DeAndre Swift, who isn't great, but he is good. He's been to a Pro Bowl. He's been a 1,000-yard back. He's got some burst. You felt like, all right, at least at a base level, we should be able to see, as Bears fans, a productive running game. Not top 5, not anything crazy, but like consistently operating in front of the chains. They had a 2nd and 32, a 3rd and 34, a 3rd and 15. It's like every time it's 3rd and long and 2nd and long, it's like, where is 4.5 yards per carry? And that's not the sexiest thing in the world. And my radio audience is like, you hate the running game. It's like, well, no, I do prefer passing to running. But I thought that there would be a floor to this offense with Ben Johnson bringing some of the running game success from Detroit to Chicago. And through 2 games, we just haven't seen that yet.
I couldn't agree more as well because, listen, the Ben Johnson offense does not work without a running game. It happened in Detroit for 3 years, one of the best running teams in football. Don't know if you heard, Jalen Johnson has a new injury, according to Ben Johnson. He announced it earlier this afternoon, not related to the previous groin or calf issue that he's gone through. Ben Johnson says the team is still gathering info. I guess we could learn later this week if he'll need surgery. TJ Edwards out again. Kyler Gordon hasn't played. Terrell Smith's out for the year. Man, what is Dak Prescott going to do with this Bears secondary?
Yeah, score points. Maybe the best way to get through a Bears season now is just to, scout your own team and take advantage of the over at 48.5 points or something like that. It's if you can't bet against the Bears, just bet on the over because you know that defense is going to give up a ton of points. And I do think that the Bears offense is going to keep throwing the ball. Then they'll be able to put up points in some I was going to say crunch time, but like it's only crunch time if you're gambling on it because that game was garbage time for the vast majority of the second half, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think that Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and Javonte Williams, how about that for a running game? Dallas last year, 6 rushing touchdowns all year, dead last in the NFL. They've got 4 through 2 weeks. They signed Javonte Williams for $3 million, and he's already got 151 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. So, like, you can find a running game if you are committed to it.
It is not that hard. I want to go to Caleb. Caleb struggled after that first series. In the opener, he actually led the touchdown drive in the first series in the opener, but I thought he looked actually more comfortable in the pocket yesterday against the Lions. Had a number of good throws, had a bad pick. What did you think of Caleb yesterday?
Yeah, and I think some of it, it's a week-to-week league, right? The Vikings defense is much better than the Lions defense, and it's a tougher defense to figure out. So I think it makes sense that he looked a little bit more comfortable given the opponent. And Caleb is frustrating because Caleb can make throws that I legitimately think, like, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, like the most talented arm talent, mobile, in their prime, MVP caliber players can make. And then he misses layups and he makes bad decisions. So he's very, very frustrating in that way, but he's also very tantalizing in that way. So I didn't think he was great by any means, but I also didn't think he cracked my list of top 5 problems from that game. And now the Bears are in this interesting spot. Dan Campbell used the must-win card ahead of week 2. I'm curious to see how Ben Johnson handles this on Wednesday when he speaks again and goes throughout the week. Like, you beat Dallas, you beat Vegas, you're 2-2 heading into the bye week for a young team with a new coach and a new system coming early in the season. Not a bad thing. You can get better and you can get more familiar with this new system. Like, the season isn't over, but you have a bad loss to Dallas or to Vegas, and it can get late early, as my partner on TV, Kevin Wildes, likes to say.
Before you leave the Caleb story, did you read anything in a Tyson Bagent coming into the game other than Ben Johnson just didn't want a chance injury with Caleb Williams?
Yeah, I think no, to answer your question directly. I know that Tyson Bagent is an awesome story, and I know that there are members of the media who seemingly believe that Tyson Bagent is better than Caleb Williams, and I know that there are some people who believe that he had a better camp, and I wasn't at training camp, so maybe there are some truths to it. Tyson Bagent might have a little bit higher floor, but he's in a ranch-style home. The ceiling is much lower. There is no way that Caleb Williams is going to be a healthy scratch for Tyson Bagent. I just do not believe it in any meaningful way. If I'm wrong, I will come back and admit to you that I was wrong. But I do not. I think Tyson Bagent is an unbelievable story and a great find and a valuable backup quarterback for the Chicago Bears. And at this point, nothing more.
I am not going to argue with you that I think Caleb Williams is a terrific talent. And in comparison to Tyson Bagent, he's far more talented. But if I told you Tyson Bagent fits what Ben Johnson wants to do with his offense better, what would you say?
I would say that Ben Johnson took the wrong job. I think that if Ben Johnson came here and said he wasn't going to run Jared Goff's offense, he was going to build an offense around Caleb Williams. Like, a coach, we saw it with Matt Nagy trying to fit Justin Fields into a Alex Smith type offense. Like, it's enough already. Like, the Bears have a Maserati type quarterback. Now, he might be erratic. He might not be completely ready to be taken out on the Autobahn yet. But I don't want to cater to a Toyota Camry. Like, it's just not necessary. Like, build and develop your Maserati. Get him to where he needs to be so that you can win Super Bowls. Like, I'm not looking for a higher floor and 22 points per game here out of Tyson Bagent.
All right, before you go, do you think this job to turn around this franchise is harder? It's a bigger job, is going to take longer than Ben Johnson expected?
I mean, clearly, yeah. I've only owned one house, and it was a little bit of a lemon, excuse me, and it made me terrified to ever own again. But it's like hey, I'd like to, I got maybe a little drywall, little paint, and then you open up the wall, and you're like, there's termites, and the plumbing's gone, and the roof's gonna cave in, and you're gonna fail your inspection. Like, I think that there's a little bit of that from Ben Johnson, who's like, oh boy. This is a little bit of a teardown situation that he's got on his hands here.
Hey, Danny, I know you're busy. Enjoy the show. First things first, we'll be watching your last hour, right?
Yeah. 5 to 6 Eastern, so 4 to 5 in Chicago every single day on FS1.
We are supporting you here in Chicago. Thanks for joining us here on CST Daily.
Lou, anything for you, man.
All right.
The best.
Danny Parkins joining us from New York. We're going to take a quick break.